Good afternoon, guys. Today we have the Traxxas Rustler 4x4 up on the stand. We're going to be upgrading a couple of parts on this guy. Kind of getting my tools out here. This truck has been a lot of fun. It's been ran a few times, super clean. It's only been on the street, haven't had it off road yet. The body I have on here is one I did myself. This is the Proline Raptor, Ford Raptor body, made for the Rustler 4x4. Fits the stock clipless body system. Of course, we have the Traxxas Italian tires on here with the green rims on it. Nice looking, great looking truck. Pretty proud of this build. We're going to upgrade the few things today. First off, it's going to be the steering blocks, which is 6837 Traxxas part. We're going to do the caster blocks, 6832 Traxxas part. Put that over here. And then we're going to do the carrier, stub axle carriers, 1952 Traxxas part. Let me get that glare off of there. There you go. See what we're doing there. And then we're going to finish it up with some aluminum hexes, 1654. These things are blue, which kind of bugs me because everything else on this truck is green or purple, but it'll match and you won't see the damn things anyway. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and get the tires pulled off this thing, pull the body off, and get to work. So here we go. Alright, so we've got the wheels pulled off. You can see we've already done a couple of upgrades to this truck. We'll kind of angle it this way for you. We added the Traxxas Valenian fan to the ESC, and then we added the Traxxas heatsink and motor fan. We also did the Traxxas chassis brace. We upgraded the shocks from the Ultra Shocks to the GTRs, long in the front, extra long in the rear, with the variable rate VG springs in purple. And then of course we changed out the arms front and back to the aluminum tubes, as well as the heavy duty A-arms. So got a nice color coded truck here, good smooth shock action on it. Got 50 weight shock oil all the way around this guy, and then on the back over here we removed the stock wheelie bar and added the Traxxas Hoss wheelie bar, and then got some cheap, I wouldn't say cheap, but some TPU wheels to go on the wheelie bar in the back. These things are a little softer than what it comes with, than what comes stock on the Hoss, and then kind of make it a little more stable when it pops up on you. Outside of that, I believe that's all the upgrades we've done so far. So we're going to go ahead and dig into go ahead and do the front. I think where that's it's going to be the place to start. So we're just going to slide this guy over here for a second. Go ahead and pop open our parts. Put these out of the way. Grab me a drink of soda. So we're going to pop our caster blocks off first, or out. We'll pop the caster blocks out first, excuse me. Get these guys pulled out of here. And it says rather nice of Traxxas. They actually put on these guys left and right. So, you know, can't screw them up. Well, you could if you tried, but they tell you exactly where they're supposed to go. So, got that out of the way. Toss that packaging off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and dig into our or steering hubs, steering blocks, whatever you want to call them. Toss that off to the side. We got those guys. So we have left and we have right. So those are there, ready to go for us. We don't need to mess with the hubs just yet. So first thing we're going to need to do on the front here is we're going to have to pop off these hexes. Let's go ahead and get these guys get this guy out of the way. They come off pretty easy. Just take a little flathead and pop them off, and then watch out for this pin that will fall off like that. Great thing about these pit stands, I got these nice little parts holders for you down here. Make things a bit easier so you don't lose stuff. Alright, then we're going to grab our hexes. I got crap all over the place here. Grab our hex driver. I believe we're just going to need these two. Yeah, that looks about right. Grab our driver, and then we're going to go ahead and pull these off. So, what the hell was that? Why was there a pin there? Where the hell did that pin come from? Ooh, it came out of a Ziploc bag that is opened. Whoops. Trying not to lose pins. Something else just hit my foot. Don't see anything. Okay, maybe not. And Ziploc bag came open. I need the yellow and blue make green seal. Anyway, here we go. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this steering arm here. Put that flathead over there, don't need that. So we'll disconnect that guy first. Get that guy off of there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That guy's connected to the outside. So we'll keep that in mind. And then we got to switch over, and then we're going to... Oh, wait. Pull the camber link off. And those two are out. We'll set those over there. Alright, so pull this guy on out of here. And that's going to basically release that portion of it. Switch over to this guy and pull this guy off of the arm. And then our hub and our axle is just, well, the bottom half of our axle is just going to come right on off here. Pull that guy out. Bearings got to come, leave that bearing on there. Pop this bearing out. There we go. That over there, and then I just need these two screws here. Pull these out. Screws, or barrel screws. We're gonna assemble these guys before we put them on the truck, so makes things a little bit easier. Set that guy over there. So this guy's gonna pop into here, like so. And then it will slide right into this. And we'll be good to go. Now, one thing we do want to do is just drop a little bit of Loctite inside here and inside here, because we are using aluminum, so don't have to worry about the Loctite degrading the plastic. Grab a little bit of that over here. Where is it? There we go. Just gonna do a drop. Pull this guy back off of here. This is just gonna make sure that our barrel nut doesn't come out. Hold it in place. There we go. And go ahead and start this guy back in here. And the reason I dropped the Loctite directly into the hole instead of putting it on the threads is you don't want the Loctite to get up on the barrel nut, and then it'll kind of lock up the steering a bit, so you kind of want to avoid that. It's never a good thing. So we're going to put a little bit right down in that one. Oh, that was a little more than I wanted. So we're going to wipe that off real quick. Pull this guy out. Wipe that off there. Wipe it off the top here. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. So back in here. Get these things started. Clean out the inside there. Tighten that guy down. Tighten this one down a little bit. Alright, there we go. We got nice smooth action there. Good deal. Exactly what we wanted. So we pop this bearing on the inside here. Boom. There we go. It's in. Alright. Cool. Whoa. Dropping stuff. Man, I do not have the hand dexterity for this sometimes. Alright, and then we want to put our axle back together there. Get this guy straightened out. Get that over the arm. Then we can put the hinge pin back in the bottom. Once we get it worked through. There we go. And you'll see when you tighten this guy back up. You'll see that the hinge pin comes through a little bit on the other side to hold this guy in place. So we are clean and good to go there. Tighten that just a little more. You don't want to over tighten too much on the plastic because, you know, strip plastic out and you're not having a good time. So drop. Get this guy in here, and these guys have to go in like pretty much flush, so we can switch back to our smaller bit here. This guy we're going to put just a dab of Loctite on the tip of it here, just the tip, and then not the fingers. Alright, lift this guy up. It's going to run right through this top portion eventually. There we go. get it started. And tighten this guy up. Okay, that guy's good and tight. This has super clean, super smooth action right here. Turn that a little bit so you can see it a little better. I don't have the best camera, guys, and I don't have the best setup to shoot these videos, but I do what I can. So go ahead and attach the steering link. Put a little drop of Loctite on the steering link. There we go. Drop this guy through, and you notice this doesn't have, it's not quite the same setup as this steering link where you have to wedge the two pieces between here. This actually just attaches right to the top here. And then we just tighten this guy down. This is why we need the Loctite, because it is going through aluminum, so we do want it to be held in place. We don't want it to get loose from vibration and whatnot. And that part is done. Now we just need to put our aluminum hex on, and repeat that for the other side. Now, the aluminum hexes, of course, are, you know, a lot of people are not a fan. They'll strip out your wheels, etc., etc. That is a possibility. That is not something that won't or can't happen. It can happen. But as you'll see on a lot of groups, the main key to not breaking stuff in RC is throttle control. So we don't want to just jam down on the throttle right from the get-go and end up with an issue. That's how shit breaks. Never want to land on full throttle. Just be reasonable. Remember, these things go 50 plus miles an hour, and at scale speed, you're talking like 500 miles an hour plus. Scale speed, obviously. So what we're going to do is, with this being an aluminum hex, it's a little, you can't just pop it on there. So typically what I'll do is I'll grab one of my wheels. This is not the right wheel for this side, but we're going to pop it on here and tighten it down to pop that hex in place, and then we'll pull the wheel back off and have a look at what we have finished up. So let me get up here real quick. Get that guy on there. You want to hold that wheel so everything doesn't start turning on you. We've got everything lined up on that pin for the hex, so now we just want to tighten the wheel down to kind of pop it on there. And then we'll pop it off and we'll have a look-see to make sure it's clipped on. Good motion. Looking good, looking good. Pull this guy back off here. And this hex should, yeah, as you can see now, this hex is, well, let me go this way. It's not popping off. It's locked into place, and front left is done. Done. So now we just move on to the knock out the right side. Alright, so taking this guy apart here, getting the barrel nuts out. Something I forgot to mention on the when we did the left side there, this little washer right here, it's very, very tiny. It goes right in front of your bearing, behind the pin that holds the hex on, so just keep an eye out for that thing. You don't want to lose it or miss it and put your bearing in backwards because it's stuck to it. I mean, that could happen as well. It's not fun. You'll end up with thing bouncing around inside your hub. Can't imagine that'd be a good thing. Everything's together in the front. Pop battery in. Three cell. Damn near grabbed my 4-cell. That wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't even have plugged in. So, drop this guy in. Clipper holder in place. Alright, flip a radio on. And then flip a ESC on. There we go. This thing closing up on me again. So. Seems good. Cool. Go ahead and unplug this guy. Alright. Pop the battery out. So there we go. Put that back in there. That back in there. And our hexes are good and secure. So we're done with the front. That's all done. So get my radio out of the way here. Let's move along to the back. So I'm just gonna disconnect this arm. This is very, very similar. Again, you could just use a flathead or something to pop this hex off. It should pop right off. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Get that off. Pull the pin. Maybe. And then get this washer right there. That guy. Don't lose it. Tricky little sucker. Alright. Disconnect this arm. Now with these, you don't use the same carrier. The same carrier, excuse me. You don't use the hinge pin with these. I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same as the Haas, but these actually use a couple of C-clips, which I wish we had up front. It'd be much sweeter. And then you use a tiny little grub screw to hold things in place. So let's pop our bearings out real quick. Push that one out. You can just kind of push these guys out. There we go. We got our plastic takeoffs there. Then we're gonna pop these guys open. These guys, like I said, you don't use the same hinge pin. You use these hinge pins with C-clips, and it comes with a couple extra screws. You don't need those. You do need the grub screws that come with it, because if one of your C-clips pop off, then the grub screw is what's gonna keep your hub carrier on your truck so that it doesn't go shooting off at high speed somewhere. So give me just a second here. I gotta grab a pair of needle nose pliers. I bet I don't have any up here. I don't. Damn it. I have regular pliers. Pliers. Oh, I need some needle noses. So let me go grab those. Alright, got my needle noses. One thing I will say, and I will say it loud and proud, is I hate C-clips. No way around it. Fucking hate them. probably bleep that out, but I'm not going to. But fortunately with this kit, they give you exactly 6 C-clips. So if one pops off while you're running, or you fire one across the room and can't find it while you're trying to put this together, you have a couple extras. So you get a couple opportunities to screw up here. Hate C-clips so much. Also want to give a shout out to, good God, I'm gonna lose one of these before I even get it on. Shout out to Dylan over at the Facebook group Traxxas Hoss 4x4 VXL. If you haven't joined, it's a good group, a lot of helpful people in there. Dylan and myself both are pretty active. I did this upgrade on my Hoss and honestly pulled all this extra hardware out and was like, the hell am I supposed to do with all this? I expected everything to be just like a straight bolt on there, but no, it's a little bit different. So we've attached one C-clip already before we put it on there. We're gonna run this guy through the bottom, and then you'll see it comes out the other side, and then we just have to pop our other C-clip on. Hate C-clips. Can't stand them. If anyone from Traxxas sees this, can we get a captured pin set like we have for the Max? That would be ideal. Alright, so we're gonna try to very carefully clip this guy on and not shoot it across the room. I think we just got it, maybe. Is it turning? Yeah, that guy's on. Okay, whew! Nerve-wracking. Alright, so that guy is on. We got both of our bearings put in. We just gotta put our shaft back together. Run that through. That guy should go in like so. Slip it right into there, and try not to pull the bearing out. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and attach our upper arm back on. Kind of hold this guy steady. But anyway, no, when I pulled this stuff, did this upgrade on my Hoss, it was, yeah, dude, I pulled this stuff out and I was just like, what in the hell? What is all this extra crap? Honestly, had I screwed around with it, I probably would have figured it out, but Dylan's a good guy. I shot him a message, and yeah, he walked me right through it. So I do appreciate that. So I'm going to put a little Loctite on this screw, and we're going to reattach this arm here, hold things in place. Alright, so we'll just tighten this guy up some here, get it good and torqued down. And now it's time to put our grub screw in place. You probably won't be able to see it with my camera. I'm going to try to angle this up a little bit. There's 2 holes here for the grub set screw. Basically, if you ran the pin through the bottom hole, you want to put your set screw through the bottom hole. Run it through the top hole, run it through the top hole. That's going to hold that pin in place just in case one of those C-clips pop off. You don't lose your hinge pin. So we're going to find this little bitty grub screw, put this onto our Allen key, and then we're going to work this guy in. These things come with Loctite already on them, so it's not something you got to worry about. You just got to work that guy through and get it good and torqued down so that it holds your hinge pin in place. Hold this guy, just kind of torque this thing a little bit. And it's going to go in pretty deep until it hits that hinge pin. Feels a little tight. That's mostly because of the Loctite that's on it. Once you get it in there, you can get it good and torqued in. Okay, there we go. That guy's in. Alright. So, now we just pop our, put our hexes back on. Let's put this washer on so we don't forget it. There we go, got our washer on. Our hubs are all the way in. And not our hubs, our drive shaft, excuse me. And then we're going to go ahead and dump these out in here. So there we go. We need our pin. Pin's going to go through our shaft, drive shaft here. And then we are going to fit this aluminum hub over the top of that. And then we're going to pop the wheel on to tighten it down. Main thing you want to look at is that make sure that pin is even. It appears to be. It should pretty much disappear. Move that back a hair. Just kind of turn it a couple times, make sure it's in place. There we go. So we're going to grab our wheel and our Traxxas tool here. We're going to get this guy popped on. Maybe, possibly. There it goes. Okay. So hold that in place. Get our nut started here. I'm just going to torque this down to pop that hex over the pin. And we'll just have one more to go and we'll be done. There we go. Alright, looks good. And then let's take this back off. Maybe. This hex should be nice and tight. There we go. That side's done. Woohoo! Alright, so rinse repeat for the other side. Okay, so we are done. We have our carrier, stub axle carriers on the back. Our aluminum hexes are in place. We have our turnbuckles and carriers up front. We are good to go. This it's a pretty easy upgrade. One good thing about the aluminum carriers and turn knuckles, they protect your bearings a little bit better, and you know, as you run, You don't have to worry about the aluminum expanding and the bearing bouncing around. So it's good protection. You still have plenty of flex in your A arms. Um, so that gives you your weak spot there. And then should have nice tight steering with these aluminum steering arms and whatnot. So we're gonna cut this and go ahead and get the tires and the body slap back on it, and we're gonna take it out and run it up and down the street a couple times and see how it does. Looking forward to it. Should be fun. So yeah, let's get outside and run this guy real quick. Alright, I'm gonna try to run this and film it at the same time. Watch out, kitty. Let's see what we end up with. Oh yeah, nice and slow. Whoa, lost it. Oh, that's a curb. Oh. Can't really open it up out here too much. Alright, so doing pretty good. Oh, crash. And that's why we have the running body on there. Whoa. I'd say we're good. All right, I'd say we had a successful run, successful install of our new parts. Think we're good to go. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching the video. Subscribe to the channel. And give the video a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.